Hello, good people of YouTube and maybe eventually Spotify, and welcome to the Opossum Speaks, Season 1, Episode 2, the podcast where there are no guests and the points don't matter. This episode will be just me whining about things, probably, unless there are other things to talk about, because there's a lot to whine about. And I think if I say it, before I actually get into it, less people will be like, man, this guy's whining a lot, because I usually do whine a lot, but not on other platforms, I guess. Now, I think I'll just go through everything that I dislike about how I look. Or, I mean, yeah, I think I'll do that. Man, that just sounded bad coming out. But there's a few things that I don't like about how I look. And the first one is my leg hair, because here's the thing. I think it's, kind of annoying to have, but I'm, not gonna shave it, because that would make it, that would be, somehow weirder. I don't know, I'm, hesitant to have it, and I'm hesitant to shave it, and it's just generally a dilemma. It also, gets caught in my socks sometimes, because it's, kind of long and kind of nasty and very disgusting, and that's why I wear long pants, 364 days of the year, except during the summer, where I wear shorts and really long socks so that no one sees, my calves, but, and then I guess I also my hair is parted kind of in the middle, or not in the middle, near the side. I do not have a mid part, unfortunately, but it's near the side, and somehow there's one part of it that's kind of sun bleached, where it's yellowish, and the rest of my hair is brownish, and I just spent time staring at my hair in the mirror, and I'm like, man, my hair is a little bit green, except for this one spot which is yellow, and it's just not terribly good looking. I don't know. I mean, it kind of fades if I'm not in sun, or I'm not or it's not wet, or it's not dark, but it's just, it's kind of a weird light spot. I don't know. I think it's kind of cool, but it would be cool if I had it anywhere other than the part that I part my hair at. Oh yeah, there's also the problem of all of my acne. Now, it's it sounds kind of bad, and you're like, oh man, this guy, he's complaining about his acne, doesn't everyone? Well, yeah, everyone does, but the thing is, somehow the school I go to, everyone's foreheads are shinier than the sun, and they're completely clear. I don't know how they do it, I really don't. There must be some sort of secret medication they were taking or wiping on their foreheads that I don't know about. I mean, I really doubt there is, but it seems like there is, because everyone's forehead is completely clear, except for mine and a few other people's. There's this one guy in my math class who was an inspiration to me for the only reason that he has more acne on his forehead than I do on my forehead, which sounds that actually sounds terrible to say, but every time I'm like, oh hey, it's the guy, he's living proof. It sounds bad. He's not a bad guy either. I haven't talked to him at all, but he seems like a nice enough guy. But he has more acne than I do. And somehow there's the bathroom that I go to between a few classes. The way the lights are positioned in the bathroom, it turns all the acne on my forehead into just really bright red mirrors or something, because they reflect the light so well that I'm like, man, there's kind of a lot of this stuff, and it's just generally, I don't know, it's I go around school thinking, oh man, it's not that bad, and then I look in the mirror and it is that bad, and then I don't know, I'm kind of disgruntled about it, but it's not, I don't know, too bad. I don't have it on my shoulders everywhere, and there was one guy that I saw in cross country who went to a different school, who had it all over his forehead and his cheeks and his chin and his chest and his forehead, and it was, I don't know, man, it's he was the living moon or something, but it's all pink. There. But what else is there to whine about? I got my, the test that I took on Monday, the scores came back today, or at least for the multiple choice questions, and I got a 60. I got a 60 out of 100, which means 12 out of 20, which I'm not proud of, but because a whole bunch, I mean, 2 people I know did worse, and many people got 70s, and one person got an 80, which is pretty cool. But I wish I could have gotten not a 65, I don't know, at least no, not a 60, at least a 70. But there are one-to-one corrections, so I think it'll be all right. We also got our math tests back, I don't know, on Monday. I think I didn't mention it because it wasn't really a high priority when talking about, Homer Simpson wearing a leather jacket. I mean, that's really high priority. But I'm actually very happy with my score. I got 97 or 98 out of 100. And the one point that I missed, because it was on a test that didn't have 100 questions, the one point that I missed was I didn't write in a value right. The question said a number, and I wrote in a different number. and because I wrote in a different number, I got a point taken off. But that's the only point that I got taken off, so I'm like kind of proud of that. But in physics, we're doing cool things as usual because cool things happen in physics. Like it's a class that like I sit down and I sit through it and I genuinely enjoy it. So I don't know. I guess that is a good thing. I think it speaks a lot for the teacher because the teacher is like a really cool teacher, and I think he knows exactly what he's doing. So far, like he's been teaching the same stuff for 20 years straight and hasn't gotten bored of it. So I think he knows how to teach the AP Physics 1, class. And I'm also pretty darn excited for Physics 2, which is next year, allegedly, or apparently, because it seems like it has cooler stuff than Physics 1, which would make sense, because it's Physics 2. Yeah. I've also came to the conclusion that I might buy that fish car that I mentioned last episode, because it's really atrociously cute, and I think I would benefit from buying it and having it sit on my desk. Like, I've made that decision. So I think what I'll do is I will go around a parking lot, or I mean, not like purposely, but if I'm ever in a parking lot and I see a quarter on the ground, I'll pick it up and then put that in a jar that's labeled Fish Car Fund, and I will collect quarters until I have $30, and then I'll spend it on the fish car and get it shipped right to my house and have it sit on my desk, and it'll remind me of all those years in the parking lot of finding quarters, because $30 worth of quarters is probably a lot. That's like 120 quarters. It's quite a bit. The only reason I know that is because I used to know exactly how many coins were in a roll of quarters, which is $10 worth of quarters, which is 40 quarters. So 40 times 3, because it's 30, is 120. I was really into coins, and I still kind of am. Like I look at I look at pennies' dates to see if they're like copper or not, and if they are copper, then I keep them, because copper pennies are worth 2 cents, and if you have a lot of them, you can double your money. But yeah. Oh, there's also like silver coins, which are crazy because they actually have silver in them, and you can tell by just looking at them, and it's the best thing ever. And I find that really cool. What else is there? There's like, oh yeah. For the world history class, I had that first and second period. We're also starting up notes again, which is not abnormal because we've had notes every single day, except for like 2 days. And those 2 days were like Monday and last Friday, and we didn't have notes those 2 days, and now we're having notes again. And they're about as bad as they have been for the past like weeks, but they're manageable. Like I found that I enjoy taking notes in general, and they're not like too bad, and I just let my hand sit there and I write, and it's spectacular. And like I guess I learn. Mostly I just like writing, and it sounds terrible to say. Oh, also, I was going to mention this, like, I don't know, I wanted to mention this a while ago, or on the blog or something, but there's this one guy from cross country that I will not disclose his name, but he has longish red hair and like ties it in a hair tie a lot, and he was in my Spanish 2 class last year, and whenever like the teacher called him, he just stuttered quite a bit, and I was like kind of felt bad for him because like it seemed like she called on him specifically a lot of the time. I mean, it didn't. I mean, maybe it seemed like that, but I doubt she did. But like whenever she called on him specifically, it just kind of stuck out because he stuttered quite a bit. And then I talked to him in cross country and like get to know him, and he doesn't stutter at all. And I'm like, man, this guy. And then whenever like the coach talks to him, then he stutters and stuff. But I don't know, man. He's like a really nice guy to talk to, and he's like rather chill. And he's like a whole lot better if you don't just kind of secondhand hear him speak, because he stutters quite a bit. And so, I don't know, I guess that made me realize that like you shouldn't just judge people based on how they respond to certain things. I mean, that sounds weird to say, but like, I don't know, if he was stuttering quite a bit when teachers called on him, I just thought he would stutter quite a bit when I talked to him, but he didn't, which was pretty cool actually. So I don't know, that kind of makes me want to talk to more people, I guess, who I might judge and take at face value. Yeah, life lessons. All right, yeah, okay. Today, right. So usually on Wednesdays there's grilled cheese, and today, because it was Wednesday, there was grilled cheese, and it was fucking delicious. Like holy shit, I sat there and ate it, and it was. I mean, it wasn't good for me. I mean, I kind of felt bad eating it because it was really weird, but it tasted stupendous. Like I don't know, and. I've never like had I don't even know how they make them, but they're really really tasty. If you ever stop by my school, it'll have a big plaque that says Eli's School on it, and then you'll know it's my then you'll know it's my school. But you should go there and ask for grilled cheese, and they'll probably give it to you if it's during lunch, because apparently lunch is free now, and it's just delicious. I endorse it. And there's also like, the hamburgers, which are like fine. I think they have those every day that's not Wednesday. But those are also like tasty. Only if you put like mustard and ketchup on that. Oh, speaking of that, the Halloween costume for this Halloween came in the mail yesterday, which is crazy because it means that I can finally go as Santa Claus for Halloween because my sister gave me that idea, and my sister is full of good ideas, and that was one of her many good ideas, and I thought it was a very good idea, and so now I'm going as Santa Claus for Halloween, and it doesn't seem like a great idea, but then the costume came, and I was like, man, this will be like spectacular, and so I'll, put a pillow under like the costume thing, and I'll tie the belt around it, and I will hand out mustard and ketchup packets to trick-or-treaters. Although I don't think we have any, but it'll be still funny if I dress up as Santa Claus for Halloween because it's the wrong fucking holiday. I don't know. I just think it'll be a good gag. Like I was gonna go as Tim from the video game Braid because he wears like a nice like a nice black suit and a red tie and some good dress shoes. And I thought that would look very dapper. But I don't have a red tie, but I do have a suit. But it would be kind of cumbersome to walk around looking like Tim from Braid, so I called it off. Oh yeah, at school today there was also an Amber Alert, and I still have it on my phone as a notification. Because I got it, and the whole class got it, and I was like, man, wouldn't it be kind of like funny in a bad way to just keep it on my phone's notifications panel? And so now I just have it there still, and I haven't swiped it away yet. And I feel kind of guilty about it, because on one level it's funny that, you kept an Amber Alert for like 7 hours. But on the other hand, you're like, why would you keep an Amber Alert for 7 hours? Like, it's kind of a concerning thing that a kid got kidnapped. There is also the concerning issue of the serious and perhaps worrying lack of slug comics lately, and to that I really cannot say anything because I just haven't been drawing them, and I really should because I think they're quite funny, and I enjoy drawing them, but I just haven't been like noticing enough social interactions to be able to like, I don't know, think up some, or maybe I'm just talking to enough people that I don't have to think up as many, but there's a serious lack in them, and I really would like to get back to drawing them, because, I don't know, there's just, oh my goodness, fucking gracious, to happen again, there's a certain art style to drawing them that I like to keep intact, which is like curling R's and things like that. Also, so what I, said, that happened again, so I pulled out the audio cord from my microphone because my microphone has a little audio cord in it that it uses my headphone plugs into the audio cord that plugs into the microphone, and you can unplug the audio cord from the microphone and I'll just stop hearing things. And so I gotta make sure to not touch that cord because it's really easy to like take it out, and if I like cross my legs or something, it just pulls it right out. So I gotta like be really careful while crossing my legs to make sure that it just doesn't come out, because it's kind of annoying when it does, and it makes a weird sound that I think you just heard. So yeah, I don't know, lately I've just been like scrolling around on Twitter and playing Cookie Clicker and Geometry Dash, but mostly Cookie Clicker. The grind really does never stop. And I think I should be getting around to more things, such as like taking long walks, because I don't know, I like to think I like to think I can endure walks and I can endure running, so I can just take really long walks and my feet won't give in, so I can like, explore the world at a leisurely pace and things like that, or I can just run everywhere. I don't know. I used to take a lot of really long walks in like January and February of this year, and they were pretty darn entertaining. I got like, some of them were like an hour and a half or 2 hours, and it was just great because I just, went out of the house and put my shoes on and put a coat on and, put my hands in my pockets, and I just walked for 2 hours around the neighborhood. And I went to some different places, and I even made it as far as like a few schools. But I don't know, it was generally a good time. I also just thought a lot about. I think I thought too much on those walks about like myself, and I kind of like philosophized too much. But I don't know. I think cross country has certainly done me well when it comes to enduring things such as walking or running, because that's what cross country is about. It's about running, and you got to learn to like not hate running. No one likes running, but people in cross country just like, I don't know, feeling the sensation of running, which is a terrible sensation. Either that, or for me, I like cross country because it allows. Well, okay, I like cross country because not because I like running, but because I like the feeling that happens after you run. Because you're like, man, I don't have to run anymore, and it's great because you have to run, tomorrow. But it's great not to run, and that's why I run. And yeah, I guess some masochists might actually enjoy the sensation of pain that they get from running, but that is certainly not the case for me. There's probably other stuff to talk about. Oh yeah, so in like in like sixth period today, I had this really cool idea for a like I don't know, it was like a cat character, but instead of a body of a cat, it's just a fucking circle, and it has two cat ears that are like disembodied from the circle, and it's kind of like that one droid from Star Wars that like the newer episodes that like the body rolls but the ears stay in place, and I thought it would be really kind of cute because like the sphere or the circle could roll, but the cat ears would just stay or like maybe swivel around a little bit, and I thought it would be charming, and I should draw it and animate it, but I don't know how to draw or how to animate. I mean, I can draw, but it won't be good, but I don't know. I can like try and draw it and like send a link to a picture of it in the description or something, but it's still I mean it's not too hard. It's just like a circle and two triangles, but I don't know. I think it would be pretty darn charming. And yeah, yeah. There's also the topic of Zodiac, which I'll eventually beat, but it won't be anytime soon. I don't know. I feel like I could have talked a lot more about specific things that were on my mind, but there weren't any today, so I think that's good enough. I don't know. This was like a minute-ish longer than the last episode. I'm going to try to make them around 15 minutes because I know no one wants to listen to me speak for more than 15 minutes because I'm a really kind of boring guy. Like, I mean, if you want to hear me speak for more than 50 minutes at a time, just watch my streams where I talk and play Geometry Dash at the same time. It's crazy. You can also talk to me there. But yeah, I think that'll be it for this episode. I don't really know what else to say, but if you made it this far, especially on episode 2, because many people watched episode 1 to, mixed to critical reviews, and episode 1 was more like, I wonder what this guy is thinking when he's making a podcast, and episode 2 is like, this guy's getting serious about making a podcast. I'm not really, but I don't know. If you're watching this episode and made it this far, you're probably pretty cool. And yes, goodbye, and I will probably make another one of these a few days from now, because I made the last one a few days ago, and a few days from now, I'll make another one, apparently, because I guess this is the schedule that I've bound myself to. Goodbye, everyone.